Hello.
Good morning, Becky.
Yes.
This is Chris with St. Louis Cash Bars. I got your form online. Is this a good time to talk?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go into an event, but I can talk for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to see what's going on with the house there.
I'm getting ready to go into foreclosure. Trying to avoid it so I can not have that on my record, but I got to get out of it as is. Um, I bought it 3 years ago in July, and I can't afford it no more. Yeah, I'm moving in with a friend here in the next few weeks, and just need to try and sell it.
All
So
right. Well, good news, Becky. You're dealing with the best. I'm a foreclosure prevention specialist in these types of situations. Tell me a little bit about the condition of the house. Does it need any kind of major work or anything?
yeah, it's gonna need some work. There's uh, damage. There's a little bit of damage to the roof. I didn't claim it on this last round of storms, but I figured with middle of getting ready to go into foreclosure, I don't have that ability to fix all that stuff. There's a little bit of siding damage on the south, no, the south side of the building. It's frame house, so there's like 4 or 5 panels that have some hail damage on it. The garage is detached, no electric. Be honest with you, it's falling down. It needs to come down. And then on the house side of itself, the first floor is completely livable. The basement is unfinished because it takes on water, and I just can't. I don't have the money to fix it. So please,
Okay.
yeah, just understand that I went into it thinking I'd be able to because I was still getting child support payments from the ex-husband, but he stopped that. He's got court backing him up for some reason. Only give me $40 a month instead of the 450 supposed to be giving me.
What?
So yeah.
What are you
So
supposed to do with
I'm
$40?
right, exactly. You can't even buy groceries for that, man.
You
So
really
I'm just
can't.
looking to get out of it. I have a mortgage balance on it. I'd like to be able to at least get the mortgage balance plus a couple $1,000s more to cover the interest that I put into it. For a little bit of equity there might be, but I'd be honestly right now I'd be willing to part out at it at like 135. The house next door was just flipped and went for 215 last year.
Hmm.
So it's got potential. It's just it needs work. So I'm looking for somebody to come in there and just take it over, basically pay off my mortgage and maybe a few $1,000s more so I can get my moving paid for and that.
Okay. Well, that's reasonable.
Structurally sound. It's structurally sound. I did put a little bit of work into it. It's going to need some refinishing on a kitchen wall. That some of the plasters come, it's like the old particle board has come loose and chipped off, but otherwise livable from 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. So, that's where I'm at.
Okay. And so you want to sell the property and be able to move. What kind of timeline are you on? When would you like to be done?
Probably in the month and a half because I've just got my letter from the mortgage company that they're talking foreclosure already. So
Did they give you a date yet?
no, I haven't opened up the envelope. That's how I'm avoiding this weekend because this is my survivorship weekend for cancer, man. I'm at a celebration right now, literally.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, just know, Becky, I'm going to help you out every step of the way. We specialize in these types of situations. There's all types of tactics and tricks we use to avoid
right,
foreclosure and basically
right.
make sure you're in a better situation. So that's my goal here.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind another month or two to get myself physically out of the building. I'm using the basement as storage right now because I had to clean out my storage locker. I couldn't afford it. I'm in that point in my life where I just need to move on. So I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Just get a whole nother fresh start, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, how much did you still owe on the house?
I think I'm right at 128 or 29. I'm not sure. I didn't look at the balance this past month,
All
and I
right.
am right at 3 months past due. So it's gonna foreclosures closing in quickly, but you know
Yeah, they
it is
definitely
what
move
it
kind of
is.
quick sometime when they get like that. So we're gonna
Yeah.
get you straightened out either way. Um, what is the monthly payment that you make every month?
It's right at 1100, maybe a little bit more. It's been, like I said, it's been a couple months. I don't know.
Okay, so that
I've
includes
been
the
trying.
taxes. That includes
Yeah,
the taxes and insurance.
yeah.
Okay, so it's 1,100 a month approximately with taxes and insurance, and you owe like 128. So basically,
Hmm.
what I'm getting is you're willing to sell it for what you owe on it, as long as you get a couple $1,000s so you can be able to move, and a little bit of
Right.
time so you can move, and you're ready to move forward and be done with this house. That's
Exactly.
what I'm getting.
Exactly. Hmm.
Okay. So there's a couple of ways we can help you in this, and so I don't know if I'm thinking of one way. What we've done in the past in situations like this is we would buy the house as is, just like you want. We would catch up the arrears and just continue making those payments until we get the property stabilized and fixed and sell it sometime in the future. But we would buy it
Hmm.
from you immediately. Do you think something like that would help you out?
Yeah, yeah. But as long as I don't want to take the foreclosure on my record. I'm struggling right now as it is with a 400 or 500, between a 400 and 500 credit score, so they won't refinance me or nothing. So you know.
Okay. And so you also said something about the insurance. Did you already put in a claim for the roof damage? Because I would say get
No,
that
I did not.
in.
I did not, because I don't know if FEMA's coming down South City because both those storm damage was up North City. So I got hail and wind damage on my house.
Yeah, because
So
they
I
would
don't
pay for
think
that.
FEMA's gonna.
We got like 6 or 7 new roofs on our properties, and they didn't even before the storm even happened, and it had nothing to do with that
Right.
particular tornado. So all we have to have is a
Well,
date.
yeah, I got damage from the March storm and from this storm, but I don't know because of my zip code if I qualify for the FEMA. I never did call them and see. Yeah.
Yeah, I can help you with that though. Like I said, we specialize in all these little
Okay.
details. So when would you be available when I can come by?
I'm off on Thursday this week. I took the day off of work. And I'm gonna be moving stuff gradually, for myself. So
Okay. So what I plan to do here is I'm going to go ahead and get some paperwork drawn up for you. I'm going to send it over to your email. I think I have it there returning on your form, and then I
yeah,
plan to come by there on Thursday so I can assess, in detail. But I want to go ahead
yeah,
and get the process started so that we can get that foreclosure stopped at a
right.
minimum. So at least get you some time to be able to move and get everything organized.
Okay,
So
that
I
sounds
think
good.
that's a good plan there.
What was your
Uh,
first name?
my name is Chris, and I'm with St. Louis Cash Buyers. I'm going to text you
Okay,
right after this call as well, so you
thank
have
you.
all of my
That's
contact
exactly what I was
information.
looking for. Hey, can you
Uh,
hold on for a second, or if I can let you go, I'm getting ready to do my check-in right now. So,
Yeah, I can hold for a second. Take your time.
all right, yeah, hold on a second. All right, cool. I'm over at the factory. We're doing a breast cancer survivor
Oh, wow.
event. So,
Well, at least we got the weather to cooperate today, right?
yeah, it's raining out here a little bit, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
Better than a
So,
muggy, hot summer's day.
yes, that's St. Louis for you, man.
Yeah. So other than that, I mean, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? You got food and everything like that?
Yeah, I got food. I've moved some of my stuff into the new place with my friend that's inviting me into her home. So I'm gonna be
Okay.
paying her some rent. That's why I'm in arrears with electric and gas and sewer and all that. I mean, it's just hard. I've had some difficulties come up, and then I just got rear-ended in a car accident, so I'm dealing
Oh
with
my
that.
goodness.
You name it. Seriously, name it. I bet you I have some kind of a tie to it.
Oh wow.
It's been insane. It's been
Well, we're
insane.
gonna get this thing
So
turned around for you so you're in a better position.
thank you,
Um,
Chris.
did
Yeah.
you have any other questions or anything for me for now before I let you go?
No. If I open up this mortgage stuff, do you guys want to see a copy of it, or
Yes, please. Yes, because I'm going to
I'll
go
have
in
it?
and I'll go deal with all of them for you, so you don't have to mess
Okay.
with it. I'll go in and just
Okay.
basically, deal with whatever issues they throwing at you, because you got enough stuff
Right.
on you, as I can tell. So we don't
Yeah.
want you worried about
Yeah.
all that.
Understand. Thank you. You're the second person. The other person was a flipper and he wasn't interested. And I'm like, I get it. I
Yeah.
understand, but this is a livable house. It just needs some work. I don't have the means to do it myself. So yeah.
Yep. That's why it's good. You're rolling with the best now. This is what I do.
Right.
Complex
Right.
situations that everybody else run away from and get scared. I come in and try to make sure I can
Which
help
one do
you
I
out
keep? Okay.
and put you in a better
Oh,
position.
better. All right, Chris. Well, I'm gonna let you go so that I can so I could get involved in all my stuff here.
Yeah, enjoy your
Thank
day,
you.
and we'll be in contact.
appreciate
And
it.
like I said, I'm going to send you some stuff via email, and then I'll plan to see you on Thursday. Okay?
Okay, that sounds
All right.
good.
All right. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Bye bye.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, women and children of all ages. Welcome. It's Sunday night. Woo! What up, Chicken? What up, Mike? How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic after hearing that, man. That's some motivation right there.
What'd you think about that call?
That's perfect. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So this is what we're looking for: people who have real estate, who have a problem. Not us trying to convince them, will you please sell me your house? Come on, I'm gonna be a good guy. I'm not begging them to do anything. I'm figuring out their situation, offering them a solution, and if they like it, we move forward. How hard is that?
No, all you do is listen. Yeah, because they want to talk. They want to share about it.
And she was in the middle of something else. I don't know if you caught it from the very beginning. Did you catch it from the first part?
I cut probably about 2 minutes in. It reminds me of that one she was at Boy Scout camp, and then just started spilling her heart. She's like, I don't have time. And then she sat there another 15, 20 minutes and just opened up.
Exactly. So yeah, they kind of surprised me too, because this lead actually came through our website. We've been getting more leads. I've been having more leads than I can even process. This whole book is almost full of leads now. I'm like, man, I was gonna put it in the computer. I call myself, oh, I'll just put in this little notepad and I can see everything. Nah, this needs to go on the computer. I tried to go old school and that don't work. So I mean, I guess it does work. Everything works if you do. So yeah, that lady there is she's not necessarily in she is in pre-foreclosure, but there's no auction date. So the world doesn't know.
Right.
So it's very important to market and let people know, hey, are you facing foreclosure? We can help you before it gets in the public record, before it gets in the newspaper, before everybody's beating on our door and like, hey, will you sell me your house? We want them before they get to that. So I have zero competition on a deal like this where a lady basically going to give me her house. So she wants about, what'd she say, $2,000, a couple thousand.
Yeah.
And I'll take it over. So, I mean, I could literally take over her house.
You're doing more than that. You're getting rid of her headache.
Yeah, so basically, I can give her about what I can come out of pocket $3,000 for a house down in let's see, what area is this? This is near Hampton and Gravois, like down almost Afton area. Yeah. So yeah, she owes about $128,000. The ARV is like 160. I mean, it's got a little equity, but for the repair she needs, we're going to say she has no equity. But if she's going to let me allow me take over her payments, buy her house subject to, and take over that house and deal with it, you know. The thing I did not like with that particular situation, well, not really didn't like, is that she's just putting her head in the sand and not doing nothing. You'll see a lot of people do that. Like you hear her say, I got damage, I got some wind damage, hail damage, and I haven't did anything because FEMA's not going to come down here and help me. Why is she thinking about FEMA when she can just use her homeowner's insurance?
Does she have insurance?
Yeah, she's got insurance. So her payment includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, PITI. So there's really no reason to be talking about, oh, I don't think FEMA's going to help me because I'm not in the same area where the tornado was. It doesn't matter. If you had wind, hail, any kind of damages, and you know the date, which you can go on the internet and get the date of the last hailstorm in your area. You put that date in on your claim, say we have damages to our roof, our soft metals and downspouts, put it in an insurance claim, let them come out, do their thing. Next thing you know, you got a check coming in to fix it, or whatever the process is to get you a new roof, new siding, fix whatever's broken. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So why are we paying insurance if we don't use it? For the purpose on a house you're about to get out of anyway. So my plan with that particular lead is once we go under contract, I'm going to I actually already sent her the contract. She hasn't signed it yet. I already sent it to her for the loan balance, which she owes on it, plus $2,000 in her pocket at closing, and to take the house as is. So what I plan to do, if I can, is I want to go in and help her put that claim in, get that stuff fixed. I don't want to fix that house on some hail damage. Why would I want to come out of pocket? You got insurance, get it fixed. Once it's fixed, then switch the insurance to my insurance, and I don't have anything to fix. Is that getting kind of ninja tactics there? What you think about that, Jim?
That's a ninja deal there.
Yeah, that's in a perfect scenario. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to definitely try. So, Mr. Chicken Mike, I got a question for you. So when I go talk to this lady and I want to get permission to speak to her bank to see what's going on, what do I need?
That is a power of attorney, but you can just use it. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a form of a power of attorney. Speak it. Actually, there's two. There's one for the mortgage, and then there's one to that. There's actually, I think there's actually two documents you need.
What you think about that answer, Justin? Is that correct, or do you want to add a little sauce to make it hit?
Well, I mean, that's the first thing I go to, getting them to sign a power of attorney and everything. Or you can call with them. You know what I mean? They tell the representative right on the phone, hey, they're helping me, blah, 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 blah. You know, and you can get it done that way as well.
Okay. I
do both.
So generally, if I go, if I'm doing a deal like this, pre-foreclosure, first I want to get the purchase agreement. We always know that we got to get control of the deal before we go to work. I don't work on nobody's property till I got control of the deal. Step one. Step two is a document called a authorization to release information, or a third-party letter. Basically, there it is right there. Third-party authorization. So we don't really need a power of attorney right now because we don't really own the house. We don't need power of attorney. We got power of attorney. We can literally don't even need her anymore. We can just say, hey, sell ourselves the house from her because we got power of attorney for the house. Is that making sense? So that's kind of too strong at this position. So we don't necessarily want to have them signing limited power of attorneys this early in the deal. I wouldn't suggest doing that. So purchase agreement, authorization to release information. And if we can, after that's filled out, let's do a three-way call, or let's do a call together and speak to the lender. But I do want that authorization to release information, because what I'm going to do with that document is what, Jim?
Call the bank.
What am I going to do with that document that you just showed us, that you just filled out? What are you going to do with that? Once she fills it all out with her social security number, her bank loan number, all of her information, her birthday, what are we going to do with that document?
Log on to the loan portal and attach it to an email.
That's one way to do it. Yep. You can send it in through her portal.
Or just email it, but I find that it gets more attention quicker if you can do it through their portal.
Okay, there you go. Cooking some sauce. If you can get the login at our portal and put it in as an additional document, that is quick. Email, that's another way. Fax, that's another way. And we definitely want to get in contact with their loss mitigation department or their foreclosure department, if they're in foreclosure like this lady. See what options are available to see what we can do to kind of help them out. And I want to do this separate from them. I don't really like doing a call with them, just being honest with you guys. I know some people like to do it. Oh, let's get on the phone together. I really just want permission to speak to them so I can go do what I need to do without them really breathing down my neck and asking a bunch
I always instruct them not to talk. You're there to answer the authorization questions. And then once that's done, I'll do everything from there.
Exactly. So I don't really want them speaking and saying something wrong, like, oh, I'm about to move out the house or some old silly stuff. Like, no, don't tell them that. We live here. I'm a family member trying to help out. And I don't even tell them that. They always wonder, who are you, Chris? Are you an attorney? Are you a real estate agent? Are you this? I never give them a title. I'm Chris Monroe. So POA, like Mama Rose said, power of attorney. Limited power of attorney is what we get typically. So just to come back to the beginning, what I said. So purchase agreement first, authorization to release information, or a third-party bank letter second. Those are the two documents I get just to get the deal cooking. Now, once it's cooking and I know I'm going to buy it, part of the closing packet is where I will have them sign a limited power of attorney, because that document needs to be notarized. So I get that signed off with all the other closing documents if we're doing a house that's similar to this. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Is that all making sense?
Chris, what's SpongeBob say?
What, SpongeBob?
Imagination.
I was going to say 5 minutes later.
They're like, how you come up with that house value? Imagination.
That's real. It'd be a straight up imagination. And I'd be like, what the? But I never watched SpongeBob, just full disclosure.
Dang.
Let me see if I got this thing. Nope, I don't even have it. I thought I had it on my computer to say 5 minutes later. Let me see. I don't have it. I can't see. There it
I had
is.
somebody told me, it was like, I was telling them about how you can sell a finance on the back end if they agree to sell, if they agree to it or whatever. He's like, is that legal? I'm like, if they agree to it, it's legal.
Yeah, well, it's all about what the buyer and the seller agree to. Let me see if this works.
5 minutes later.
Oh, that's dope.
I thought I had it somewhere on here. So you call up a seller, you get them under contract, you go to the house, you see something all messed up, then
5 minutes later.
you say, no, I don't even think I want that house no more. It's trash. But you can back out. That's the beauty of real estate. So what you been working on this week, Justin? Anything good? You cooking something good up?
I've been door knocking and stuff heavy. Me and Tariah went out to some of those $800,000 houses yesterday. So
not Justin getting out the trenches. You feeling okay? Wait a minute. You like the $50,000 houses. You ain't go to no 800,000. Not you, Justin.
yeah, we went there. We was a little bit too late on a 3-driveway, 3-car garage. It was amazing property. I was like, dang.
What do you mean when you say you were too late?
Somebody had made contact with him, and his auction is Monday. They made contact with him and everything. They already they got him to sell the property.
So they're gonna be able to get it done?
Based on what the neighbor said. So, I wasn't able to make contact. I did my due diligence or whatever, but we rocking and rolling.
Are you planning on following up with that, or are you just gonna let it go and say, "Oh,
well, yeah, I'm gonna follow up with that." I mean, it's tomorrow.
You never know, though. People get auctions canceled all the time. It ain't over to the fat lady scene. Just to be honest with you, I never assume anything. Even if somebody say you met them and say they told you that I got the house taken care of and somebody gonna buy it, that don't mean they're gonna perform. People mess up all the time, and they don't know what they're doing. Have you run into situations like that before, Jim?
Yep. And I knocked one a while ago. It's been quite a while, about a year and a half ago, and it was under contract when I talked to them. And they told me they were already on. Actually, what they told me, they were under contract. They were good. I didn't have, they didn't need me. But I kept coming back and just kept following up. And finally, on one of my follow-ups, they said, this person's not reaching out to me anymore, and I haven't been able to contact them. I said, the auction's like 3 weeks away. Like, what's happening? And they started getting, a little jittery because their buyer wasn't contacting them. So then I looked up who it was, and
it was a wholesaler
from far away. And unfortunately, what they did is they locked them up in a deal, had them under a contract, and it was a price that they wanted, and it was far more than what anybody was going to buy that place for. But they gave her the assurance that they were taken care of. So she was thinking she was staying. She was thinking she had her house sold. So she wasn't thinking she was in trouble. But anyway, we wound up getting a loan modification done, and then the plan was to take it over subject to.
It happens actually more times often than not. People jump in the game, think they know what they're doing, putting people under contract, don't understand the foreclosure process, and you have to come in and save the day. So I never just figured it all. Well, they got it figured out. No, they don't.
I just ask always the same question that I ask when they're going to do anything. And if that doesn't work, then what?
Yep.
And that's where I come in.
What happens if what's supposed to happen doesn't happen? And it happens a lot. It actually happens more often than we think. Especially with wholesalers running around. They like, oh, I'm just going to go get it. I'm going to find a buyer and close and do all that. And they knew and they don't know any better. And they're like, oh, I'm going to get a cash buyer. And they don't know it might be a deal like this one I just played a second ago, where this lady has little to no equity. A wholesaler can't touch this. A flipper can't touch this house. But I can with creative real estate and creative strategies. This is my bread and butter. Slam dunk. Lady don't want the house, sign it over, give her $2,000 and keep it moving, take over the payments. And I think she got a low interest rate. I didn't even look that up. What she got on that interest rate? Don't let me find out if it's a 3 or a 4. You know how that go. That would be a shocker. Be like, oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. Is that something you look at when you look at these properties, Jim? Do you worry about the interest rate, or you just look at the total number when you're kind of underwriting it?
Oh no, I definitely look at the interest rate. There's a lot of things that go into it because the interest rate is one thing. How many years they're into the mortgage is another thing. Because like I'll be in a cash flow even, like I don't want negative, but I'll be in a cash flow even deal if I'm getting into it with very little money out of pocket, and if it's 10 years in on the mortgage, then every time my leaser or tenant pays the bill, then I own a lot more of the house because of the buy down, because of the amortization schedule. Now, if they just got into the loan last year, maybe I don't want to be at zero, zero equity type thing.
Yeah, so this isn't a 3% and it's not a 4%, but it is a 5.23%, which is better than what I can go get today, right?
That's what I always look at. And the other thing I look at too is even if it's 6%, which is, still better, even if it's 6.5%, you don't have to do any docs.
Jim, what's that big word you
used?
used? Jim, what's that big word you use? Amortization. What does that mean? What does that word mean?
I look at that. It's the tax schedule, or the I don't know how to say it without saying amortization.
It's compounding.
The debt pay down schedule. We're basically going to show you that you're paying all mostly interest always for the first 15 years of that 30-year mortgage. You're paying.
Is that predatory lending?
Not in the real world. Matter of fact, let's see. She bought this house for $129,000, and she owes $128,000. It's an FHA loan. Bought it in 2022. So she only had this house 3 years, really 2 years and 11 months. Next month will be 3 years.
Are you looking, and Chris, are you looking at her bank, at her actual documents, or are you looking online at like badges?
I'm just looking online. It might be less than that on her bank statement.
No, it actually might be more, because if she bought it 2 years ago and she hadn't made any payments for a year on it, and we owe the foreclosure attorney and everybody on the deal, her principal with all the stuff that she owes is probably $2,000 or $3,000 more than what she borrowed in the first place.
Possibly. Well, she's only 3 months behind, so she missed 3 payments.
Okay.
So and it's $1,100 a month. So what's that? $3,300 plus junk fees. Let's say $4,000.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, how many houses could you buy for $4,000 plus $2,000 to the seller for $6,000? How many houses could you buy, Jim?
A lot.
Every one of them.
That's right.
Chris, let me ask you, is there ever a situation where if the economy is doing extremely well, interest rates go down to, let's say, 3.5%, 4%, and you, refinance your entire portfolio in order to take advantage of the interest rates?
Probably not, to be honest. I don't see any benefit. What would be my benefit of going and refinancing just for an interest rate that I'm not paying anyway? Somebody else living in these houses paying it. I'm not paying it anyway. So what would be my benefit?
The difference in the amount of money. Well, I guess refinance only extends your loan, but your cash flow would increase as a result of it.
We don't know that. Well, think about how many junk fees they throw. Have you ever done a loan? I'm doing a deal right now. It's $16,000 in junk fees, and ain't nothing I can do about it. I'm looking like damn, y'all charge for that? What's that? What's that? One item, they just throw junk fees, and you're supposed to just buy and pay them.
So Chris,
I'm not
I'd
a
say
fan
also.
of, what'd you say, Jim?
I was just going to say on the refinance question that he asked, I see that all the way at the top, it comes down to one of two things: whether you're in it for cash flow or in it for equity, and whether you refinance or not, I think is a bigger question, because there's more variables in it, because it depends on what you need to do. Like I might do not a cash out refinance, but I might do a line of credit so that I can use that equity to go invest in other deals. but I might not want to do a cash out refinance because I need to look at what that does to my cash flow. So that may increase my payments. It may decrease my payments, but that's some of the stuff I have to look at. But the thing with a refinance, with a cash out refinance, you're locking in on a 30-year loan. And some of them have prepayment penalties. So whatever it is that you're doing, it's got to be more of a permanent situation. So, for me, at least, interest rate is not the only considering factor there. The interest rates went down 2 points. Let's go refinance. That's not really, there's too many other things at play to be able to make that decision. The other thing too is that the other thing too, I would say, is think about it like this. Give an extreme example. I'm in a 30-year mortgage. I'm down to my last 5 years. Interest rates go down to 1%. Do I refinance for the 1% interest when everything I'm paying right now is going to principal? And when I refinance, everything I'm paying is going to interest.
Right.
So, it depends. Now, it may lower my payments, so I increase my cash flow. Well, now, if I need cash flow, maybe I would do that. But if I'm concerned more for the equity that I'm gaining in the property, then I want to say, no, I don't care if the interest rate goes down to 1%. I'm not cashing this baby out. Now, I might go get a line of credit so that I can use that equity that I've paid on, and now I have equity in that property. I might get a line of credit that I can use, maybe 9% is what the interest rate is, but I can go out and invest in other deals. And here's the thing with the line of credit is that I could take out a line of credit on a house because I have some equity, and I could go reinvest that money into something. I might invest it in my deal. I might invest it in your deal, and it may make me cash flow negative on that property for a period of time. But I know as soon as you pay me back in 2 months, 3 months from now, I'm back to cash flow positive. So I am in control now of when I'm cash flow positive and negative. And I can make that call based on what I'm making on that money that's going out on the street rather than, other variables. This is all stuff I'm in control of.
Yeah, so you definitely have to look at all of those variables. And so, for example, let's say if I got a house, I just logged into the portal. Let me see here. This house here, how do I pull this up? So I bought this house, and first thing to pop up, what they trying to do, sell me or refinance right out the gate. Soon as I log into the portal to make this month's payment, hey, Darlene, that's the lady I bought the house from. Hey, you have $100,000 available equity. Contact us now. They're always trying to get more stuff, but why would I want to go get? And they saying really the equity is even more, and I think it's even more than that. I think this house worth about $260. They saying $226, but I mean, I got no money in this deal. Why would I want to go refinance and start that loan all the way over? And it's got a 4.35% interest rate. And why would I want to mess with that? At any point.
So are they pitching this, Chris, to refinance, like a cash out refinance, or are they pitching this for a line of credit?
I know they just pitching. That's all I know. Okay. Any kind of pitching is too much. Don't pitch me. They trying to get me to do something and say, take that money out. We got money for you. And that happens in multiple different ones. I log right into the portal, pop up. Hey, you want $100,000? And I'm thinking you can get more than that, really, depending on how you structure the deal. Because it has probably about $150,000 in equity or more. And I didn't do anything with this house but buy it and cash flow it all for 6 years. Bought it in 2018 and still own it.
And for me right now, I wouldn't want to give the bank necessarily the second position. If I did a home equity line of credit, I would rather leave that second position open for my private money lenders, for people that I know and do deals with. And they say, okay, I need 50 grand. Well, what are you going to, I'll put you on the second position of this house that I have.
With all this equity, exactly.
Because otherwise I have to go through all the documentation that the bank's going to require. And if I do it with my private money lenders, they just want that second position, and they don't care about all my documentation. They don't want 10 years worth of tax documents.
Right. And so also keep in mind, talking to Darlene, talking to me, they don't know I'm the one logging in. They thinking this is the person on the house to, hey, you need to pull some money, want to do some fix up, want to do this, want to do that. They're always selling you something, selling you money. And what happens when I say, if I did want to do this and it was me, not Darlene, it was me doing it, I would want to do it, pull out, oh, I got $100,000 out my house, y'all. I started my mortgage over. My payment is now not, what does it say? $756. My payment definitely gonna go up to about, I don't know, double that, $1,500. I don't want to pay that. That's crazy work. Who want to double your payment, go a higher interest rate, pay a bunch of junk fees? They would hit me for at least $15,000 in junk fees on something like this. Junk, appraisal, all the other stuff they come in and say, oh yeah, we know that, and oh, we need to come out and walk property, and oh, we check this, and what else they want you to jump through? I want to jump through hoops. Cash flow. Would you cash this out, Art? What would you do with this deal? Would you pull some money out of that if you had a house sitting with $150,000 in equity, or did you just let that sit as a safety net in case all hell breaks loose?
Yeah, I just let it sit. I got one just like that with that amount of equity or close to it. I think they've got a little bit more, but yeah, I'm just letting it sit, cash flowing. I cash flow $816 on that property right now.
My other house that's in the one you went to, Justin, with that blue porch, that house the same way. House worth about, I don't know, 150 or something, and the loan is like 70, 75. It's like halfway paid off, but it's like, do I want to mess with that? And it cash flows $895 a month. Why would I want to mess with that for any reason? If I'm paying $700 and they paying me $1,595 every month, why would I want to mess that up? In the name of, oh, I'm gonna try to get a better interest rate, or oh, I'm gonna try to go, because the only person make money in that transaction is the bank, to be honest.
Hey, Chris, I'll give you an opposite perspective on that.
Come on with it.
And it's the opposite of what I just said as well, but it is another gameplay. It's just, again, where you're at and how you want to do things. But if you have equity in a property and you have a good relationship with the bank and you have the credit and all that kind of stuff to do those kinds of transactions, it's good to open up a line of credit on a property, even if you're not using it. Because here's the thing, if the economy gets bad, the banks starts to narrow down on what they lend out on. And so a lot of times, if you already have that line of credit open, they're less likely to close it or reduce it than not let you get it. So sometimes it's just a safety net. It's actually a safety net to have the line of credit, just not have it drawn on.
Now you're cooking, Jim. That's getting creative and innovative. That is 100% true. When you need the money, you ain't gonna be able to get it. Just so you all know. When you don't need the money, you got access to all kind of capital.
Or you could take it and be a private money lender and make money on top of it. So then now you got two cash flows going with the rent, and then you got, the other money coming back at you.
That too.
And that just depends. That just depends on your risk factor, how much you want to be leveraged. Because like Art was saying, he was indicating that he wants to sit on it for a little while. So that would indicate that he's leveraged to where he wants to be leveraged, and he wants to have a little bit of a backup. So he wouldn't want to lend that out, because remember, when you lend money out, it's not your backup money anymore. Because no matter how risk-free money is, there's always a little bit of risk to money you're lending out.
And you know what's better than all of this? Go get another deal.
That's right.
Go get you about 3 more deals. Fill up your notebook with all these people that want to do a deal with you. Because the next deal could get you an extra 15, 20 grand in your pocket. And then you can go lend with that money. That's what Art do. Art say just gonna get a new deal. Is that right, Art?
That's what I was thinking the whole time. Like all of this energy of paperwork and all that, you just, I'll make some more calls. We'll find something.
There's people out here that need your expertise. Don't ever forget that.
What was that $999 dialer that Art was talking about last week? Your dialer, or you just talking about yourself?
I use Mojo.
Mojo.
Yep.
Mojo.
Ain't no tricks to the whole game. So everything we already know is just putting the work in consistently.
Don't nobody want to do the work though, Art. We all want to do it like a little bit of work, like no work. We don't want to talk to no sellers. We don't want to do no marketing. We don't want to do anything, but we all want a deal. How does that work?
We want to do.
That's how people get drawn to real estate. They be getting sold on a dream of they're gonna get something done for you. You just pay $25 and you about to make $1 million in 90 days. Like, it don't work like that.
$1 bazillion, and all I put in it was 2 pennies. So if anybody's watching on a YouTube link, if you want to jump on the stage, there's a link pinned to the top of the chat. I guess I should have said that in the beginning. If not, just sit back and watch the show. Now, Justin, you told me you were out door knocking. Any other interesting door knocks you did while you were out wheeling a deal and trying to find an opportunity?
What had happened? So
church thing.
yeah, so we don't work on a church deal as well. As a church out in Paysdale, we went out there and see it. I think we went to go see it Monday.
Yeah, it was Tuesday actually.
Yeah, so we got to go out. We got to send an offer to them and everything. See what they're willing to do. They in there, hot, sweaty. They might move on something. We'll see what happens.
What, the AC don't work?
I don't think that. I don't think the church has AC.
Can we put 10 window units up in there?
No, I think it does have some kind of HVAC system going, but you know, they got a boiler room. It runs off a boiler room, so I don't know. It's a lot of things going on with that, but it's sitting on 29, almost 30 acres of land. So which is a good thing.
Is that a cemetery too?
Cemetery is next door to it, yeah.
We got some plots we can rent out, sell out.
No, the cemetery is not owned by the church.
No, wait a minute. If we gonna get the church, I need the cemetery with it.
No.
Hey,
Not
Chris,
even owned by the church.
if you get the cemetery, could you write it off of your taxes or whatever? Because you know you can do stuff like that. Like if you take both deals.
You can do all kind of stuff with real estate, baby. First thing is get control of the deal. If you get control, you can do a lot of stuff. But you ain't got control, we can't do nothing.
I don't think you pay property tax on the cemetery.
I think I got a buyer for the church. I just got I'm waiting on his call.
What kind of buyer is that? What are they looking for?
The building, the deal is $1.2 million.
What is the buyer looking for though? Because I got a commercial building. Somebody that just came across my desk.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I keep something. You know, I'm always finding out. I don't really deal in commercial, but they bring me stuff. So I'm like, well, you know, if I know somebody that knows somebody, I ain't gonna tell them no.
I definitely would say he open.
This
I
one,
got a commercial buyer contact.
what is the buyer looking for?
He's looking for a space to, do a church.
They want a specific church because this building that I got sent is not a church, but it is a. Let me see what this is. It's some kind of commercial building. It's a
preferably in the county.
They sent me all these beautiful pictures of this house. I mean, this building. So it looked nice. It just like the lady is behind. It's a residential care facility. So it's like a big. I don't know. She didn't give me all the details. It looked pretty big. But
the problem with the church is they need $1 million. They want $1 million. They need $1 million.
Yeah, it's a lot of things going on.
Well, this one is $500,000, so they can get. It's in a city though. That's why I didn't really like it. But it's a big building. They got a lot of potential.
Send it over, Chris. Is it on West Wilson? Is it on West Wilson?
No, it's on the north side. It's on Beacon.
Oh, that's good.
Do we have a carport?
It looked like it got a whole everything. It's like a whole complex. It looks like, but I don't know. She sent me a bunch of pictures. Let me see. Can I do this? Can I do this? Let's see. Can you see that? Let's see. If I do like that. That. I guess I should have made me bigger.
How many square feet is that?
Let me see. There you go. Now you can see it better. That. It looks like you can live in it, and it's like a lot of space. I'll get all that information.
I'll scroll over too far, Chris. Be careful.
I went the wrong way.
Hold on. Do I know? Oh, go back. I know what is it. Okay, I ain't gonna say down the street on the live.
They're like, oh, I know where that's at. That's my cousin house, man. What you doing, my cousin? You know how that go. Everybody know everybody. You gotta be careful, man.
I hear that happen a couple times.
That's my cousin house. I want to keep it.
I don't even be caring no more when that happened now, Chris. I'm like, hey, it just fall into the game.
That's right.
So,
So
all my life I
that
had to fight.
so that was your door knocking adventures for the week, huh, Justin? Anything else interesting happen?
Yeah, so basically I got a house out there in St. Charles. I got to follow up with them. The neighbor kind of gave me a little bit of information. She wouldn't give me the contact to the house. She said the owner passed away, but the family been over there and everything. So I just got to track down the family so I could try to see what's popping, what's going on.
So how would you find out who his family is?
So on the deed, once I got the name, whatever.
Obituary.
You weren't supposed to tell him, chicken. Give him a chance to fail. Come on. He said, I'm getting this one. Y'all ain't going to get me every day. I'm getting something in. Obituary.
I found her obituary, actually.
And it has a whole slew of family members. Little Mikey, little Johnny, little Kevin, little this and little that. All on the obituary. And this is her favorite nephew. And there you go. I'm going to see a house tomorrow with some people who basically they call to sell furniture. You know, I got that furniture store here in sunny St. Louis. I always ask them, hey, did y'all sell the house yet? They said, no, we got to get it all cleared out so we can sell the house. So, you know, I'm like, well, what if we just bought the house with all the stuff in it? And he's like, oh, wow, I didn't think about it like that. So I'm going to see their house tomorrow. I've done at least 4 deals that way. Is that good juice or what?
Man, we had went to a house or whatever in Jenny's, just kind of practicing or whatever. We're just going whatever we got. So the house was in crazy condition. They let us right on in. There's 2 older ladies, maybe 3 older ladies just in the house. They on the crutches and everything. They called the out of town daughter. So apparently the owner had passed away. So the daughter is working on going through probate and all that stuff now. And I think she want to keep the house for sentimental purposes. But we talked to her and stuff. And, you know, we're going to see what happened. I think she's more so concerned about what's going to happen to, I guess, her mom's friends or family who's staying in the house. So that's a major concern. But it's a terrible house. It ain't worth exploring it. The only way to take over that house is literally if they gave it to us for free.
That's what I ask them. Would you sell it for what you owe on it? My favorite question. And they usually say yes. I get yes. It's actually more than you would believe. Would you sell it for what you owe on it?
Right.
All they can do is say no. Well, I would, but I need about a couple thousand so I can move. So you telling me if I get you a couple thousand, you ready to sell it for what you owe on it and just walk away from the property? Sure. Sign them up. Cling. Happens quite often. You know, I don't even have to go do all that underwriting and running numbers. I'm buying it for what you owe on it anyway. Loan balance. Loan balance, baby. Whatever the balance is, that's what we're buying it for, and we're taking it over subject to the existing financing. I went and looked at this stinky house down here in Afton. Let me see if I can pull this video up for you guys. Stank house. I shouldn't call it that, but it definitely stanked. Let me see if you can smell it through the video. Not smell it. That's going to be bad business. Share screen.
Cats.
About 5 of them live there. So yeah, here you go. Stanky cats.
Oh, by the way, that's that condo, ain't it?
Yep, he all in the way. I'm like, look out so I can do my video. I have to move the camera.
And look, I was thinking, I'm like, Chris really did drive out there and get that condo. I want to drive out there.
This is my first time going. I had him under contract already.
How long though?
The day of, like 2 days before the auction, I stopped the auction.
Yeah, no reason.
Okay, but remember you was trying to tell me to go out there to the condo. I was like, I ain't driving. I ain't really feel like driving all the way out there.
Well, he said a lot of people been knocking on the door anyway, so.
Oh, for real? Oh, okay, that's good.
How'd you stop the auction, Chris?
Magic. I went and said, hey, stop that auction or I'm going to get you, boy. And they said, okay, Sir Chris, do what you want. And there you go, magic.
You going to sell that as a handyman special?
Yeah, because it's a little more rougher than I like to be. I mean, I don't mind a little something, but this is a major job to me. And I don't like to work that hard.
What's wrong with him? You sick?
There you go.
Is he sick?
Who, the person? Nah,
Yeah.
his mother died on that
So
couch.
get the
Right.
good layout of it.
Damn.
Thank you. No problem.
He said, "Thanks a lot, Chris." I said, "Oh, you're welcome." So I'm helping him out. We're gonna do what we do and do our juju. But boy, I went in there. I was like,
Wow.
stank. Have you ever smelled something that stink real bad?
Yeah.
Multiply times 5.
Damn. Ah, that's why you in there like this.
Well, he was in the way. I was just trying to knock it out, you know. And I'm like, look out, let me bust this video out so I can get up out of here because it stank. And little cats running everywhere. Zik, zik, zik. I don't know if you saw
Where
it on
he
video.
gonna go?
Huh? He don't
Where
live there.
gonna go?
He don't live there. He live with his girlfriend.
Chris, there's a trick for the stink that I learned.
Okay, drop something heavy on him then.
So before you go in, you just get a little bit of Vicks Vapor Rub and put it right here under your nose.
There he is.
See, this the thing though, Jim. It ain't even just
smart.
stink. It's not just that it stinks. I don't want to breathe that in, whatever they got going on in there. I want to go in like this and a mask, a COVID mask. Pull out your COVID mask. real-
Smear a little vapor
up.
rub inside your COVID mask.
There you go.
You got
So-
that one spray I keep in my car. It like not denoise or whatever, but it's like a neutralizer. You just spray it and then it'll
Odium.
neutralize any smell.
Well, I got something even more high tech than all of that. We take all the junk out of the house, open up all the windows, and we put that. Well, we actually don't want to open the windows. We want to keep the windows closed. Put that ozone machine in there to remove the smell at the molecular level. You ever got one of them before?
You got it for stuff like that, Chris.
It's like $80. Come on, man. I don't even think I paid that much for it, but I had it from when I had all those rental cars because they used to smoke them up. You put that ozone in there for like 45 minutes, smell gone. It was like it never.
Running out $500 a day. Yeah.
And I charge them $500 for smoking in there too.
Hey Chris, I got a question for you. So once you stopped the auction, what was the terms that you did with the seller?
I'm sorry. What's the question?
Once you stopped the auction, what was the terms you made with the seller?
We buy for what they owe on it.
Mhm.
On most cases, you talking about that particular deal?
Yeah.
Oh, we just gave them a price that makes sense.
Free.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a cash deal. That's not a creative deal. It can be creative, but it's a cash deal as it is right now.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, the deal is what it is, just a cash wholesale deal as of right now. Because I mean, they need a lot of work. Even though you can still do a creative deal on stuff like that, a lot of people feel like, oh, I gotta do it cash. It depends on if you have your own rehab money or not, or if you have access to rehab capital. If you have the money to fix all it up, clean all of it out, all that, and you don't need to go get a hard money loan, you can just take over the payments of the house, and then
Patience
sell it out on the back end. There you go.
or patience.
Use Art's line of credit that he's got on his properties.
There you go.
And pay,
No,
and pay him a
I-
little piece of the deal.
I use my credit cards first. I got about 60,000 in credit card lines that I could use. So, and that gets you a bunch of points. So you swipe that, you be like, dang, they gave me most of that money back. Thank you. Not most, but some.
If I ever need
I love
rehab
that.
money, I'm calling Jim.
Oh yeah, Jim is the money plug. If he ain't got it, you ain't getting it.
So I did that on my one flip. I used all the cards to pay for the renovations on my one flip. And at the end of the month, I had a free card. They didn't charge me anything to get the card. It was free money, interest free. And at the end of the month, they gave me $980 in points.
Yep, an extra $1,000.
I cashed that out, and my private money lender paid me the draw for that part of the project. And then we went, paid off the credit card, and did it all over again.
That's right. Second verse, same as the first. All right, Mr. Mike, what about you this week? Did you do anything interesting? Did you talk to any sellers? Matter of fact, let's make a better question. How many sellers did you talk to this week?
Sellers, I would say none.
How many
I
people
talked
who
to-
own
I
property?
talked to people who had properties listed.
But you had more suspects than prospects. How many suspects did
Absolutely.
you speak to?
20.
20,
Yeah,
really?
not enough. I this is my long week excuses, but I did not prioritize doing as much as I should this week. But
Now,
I
wait a
did
minute.
call-
Let me make sure I'm getting this right. You talked to 20 people who said they wanted to sell their house. Is that correct?
Not to me.
Why would they not
Yeah.
want to sell to you? You got all the money.
That was all the flippers. Yeah, fixing flippers. I did make some good contacts though, and I have a follow up after the holiday coming up here with she had 2 properties. Well, now I have a follow up.
I'm confused. You said flippers. Did you talk to people who own property who wanted to sell, or you were just? I mean, maybe I'm mixing.
No, they were wanting to sell. But
so what stopped them from selling the property to you?
I was letting the retail price that the number they're wanting. None of them were. I don't know. I probably talked myself out of all the conversations.
Do you record your calls?
No.
You should record your calls because then we could go back, critique it, and kind of help you tighten up the game.
Did you
Because
send over an offer?
a lot of times you can just tell. Hold on one second, Jess. A lot of times you can just tell them, hey, it sounds like you just really don't have to sell the house then. Am I getting that right? I just call it right out. There's no reason to be like, oh, don't you need to sell? Hey, it sounds like to me you don't really need to sell this house. Am I getting you correct? And make them tell you the answer. Don't try to force the issue. Just call out the elephant in the room.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was answering for them, saying,
Did you send them an offer?
No.
Why not?
Send an offer no matter what.
Okay.
Or tell them an offer. You don't have to send them anything. You tell them on the phone. Hey, look like we're gonna be closer to around 130 or whatever the number is. I just made that up.
Right.
I mean, if we came in and say around 130, I mean, would that help you guys out? Make them say no. No, that's way too low. How close to that can you get? It's just a conversation. It don't take but 5 minutes to talk to these people, to be honest. Especially if you're trying to purely wholesale.
Well, I was coming across there was basically, it was the properties I was coming across was all these fix and flippers, that bought them and then we're trying to sell them.
Okay, so are these for sale by owners? There was on Zillow?
Yeah.
Okay, and so question for them, why do you think it hasn't sold yet?
Okay.
Always ask that question. Man, this is like a nice house. You did a real good job on it. You fixed it up yourself? Butter cake, butter cake, butter cake. Get them all butter cake. Then they're like, oh, yeah, I did it all myself. And they feeling all good. I mean, why do you think it hasn't sold yet? Let them tell you why they think it hasn't sold. Because that's usually what you can use as ammunition for later if you need. Anything they say will and can be used against them later, just to be honest with you. That's why I ask so many questions. Because I don't know anything. I just know to ask the right questions and allow them to close themselves. Because they're going to tell me what to do.
Chris, the other thing I'm hearing here is that these might be the folks that he's going to sell his next wholesale deal to.
Right.
He needs to be getting their buy box.
Yeah. That's what 3 of them were like, oh, I got all my own, I got all my own people. And so, I've been doing this a long time. I'm just like, well, I'm just putting my information out there,
You've been doing this a long time. Why is this was so slow to sell, unlike your others? Everything they say gonna be used against them. They got to be careful saying stuff like that to me because I'm gonna use it right back on. Oh, you've been doing this a long time. Sound like you should have had this sold already. What's the hold up here?
Yeah, and the pictures of it didn't have a flooring finished on it, or like posting pictures of the house for sale, and then you don't have it's not even finished yet, and you're asking
stuck in the middle of a project with no money.
Yep.
And can't pay a real estate agent to get rid of it for them.
Yep.
That too. I get down and ask that and make them tell me that stuff he just said. I want that coming out of their mouth telling me that, even if I may think it. I want you telling me that, hey, yeah, man, I can't. Why you didn't just list it with an agent? No, I don't want to pay them because, I can just throw it on Zillow myself. Oh, man. I mean, how long you been doing this again? I want to really understand them, not just to beat them up on the price. I want to understand why they doing the stuff they're doing. Okay. People do things for reasons. Why are you doing the thing you're doing?
And that's what we can do. By knowing that, then we can tailor a deal to them that actually is beneficial to them. Because everybody else is trying to make a number or something like that. And that's not what they need. They need somebody to hear their story. They need somebody that can listen to what it is that they really need that they're not saying. And then we come in with a deal that actually makes it work.
Childlike curiosity.
And so when they tell you these things that are going on, I mean, I would ask them, do you normally use hard money or your own money? How do you normally buy them when you buy these houses? Oh, I use my own money, or I use hard money. Whatever it is, we know how we could deal with them accordingly. If they're using their own money, they could be your next private money lender on one of your deals. I mean, because everybody got a problem in real estate, or even in life. Forget just real estate. Everybody got some kind of problem. Your job is to be able to identify what are their problems, what are their pains, and what are their gains, what are they looking to gain, so you can help them out. If you can, you know, you may not have all the answers, but at least you have the information so you can come back and say, hey, Chris, I talked to this guy. He sounds kind of motivated, but he sounds kind of not. I'm confused, but this is what he told me. Now we got something to go off of versus us guessing. I don't like to guess anything with none of these people. They're going to tell me everything I want to know. And if they don't, no harm, no foul. Keep it moving. I'm not worried about them. So you talked to a bunch of for sale by owners, and most of them were flippers. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah.
So no mom and pops.
There was the one mom and pop I'm following up with. She bought 60 acres and she's building a compound, as she called it, and having all her kids build houses around them. This one she was motivated to sell on, and like the next day she's having a realtor. I was like, well, what if I was able to solve this situation without you having to bring a realtor in it, you know? So, and she was driving to a meeting, and I kept, you know, asking questions. And then she's like, you know what? Did you call me yesterday? I was like, no, I did not. But she's like, I have this other property that I think this type of deal would work with. And then, so follow with me after the holiday. So
there you go. I got about 4 of them like that after the holiday. That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll put them in a follow-up sequence. Keep it moving. But yeah, good job on at least reaching out to 20 suspects.
It's not. I didn't meet my KPI for the week, so I'm counting the wins, you know, but still I'm tearing myself up about not meeting my KPIs for a week.
No, you're good, but I think you did more than most. Some people don't talk to 5 people.
Dude, congratulations, man. Most people never make it to this part. People are so scared of the phones, man. You got a lead to follow up with. That's exactly what I was saying last week. You do that part, and then you get some leads, and here we are talking about them. Now you just keep on repeating that and stacking up leads. Eventually, you're gonna get a deal, and then over time, you keep following up. Some of them other ones gonna turn into deals too. You gotta keep doing that every day.
Keep stacking
them up.
If you can, like I say, try to record your calls if possible, because I can go back over them with you and try to critique and help you clean up some of the stuff you're saying, and like get rid of some of the crutch words or get rid of some of the stuff that's sending people in the wrong direction. We want to keep them focused on the 4 pillars, which are what, Mike?
Condition, timeline, motivation, and condition, timeline, price. Yeah.
There you go. And then sprinkle in a little rapport within all of that, like a conversation, and there you go. You got a conversation.
The bankruptcy, it's a weird deal. I guess when you file for not bankruptcy, but foreclosure, it's a kind of a weird situation. They signed up in some program that writes off, or they take care of a mortgage, give them forbearance for like a year, and then after that time's up, and then they get a hearing or something to meet with them again to, you know, so they're on their like second attempt at going to disability. So they don't have any time. They have a timeline of the bank saying, hey, we want our money, which is the 12th, you know, to decide, you know, they're going to go foreclosure or.
So this is a lead you're working on now. You spoke to somebody that has a foreclosure offer.
Yeah, I met with them on Monday. Yeah.
And what stopped from getting the deal going on that one?
This court date for the 12th. It's not a. It's a.
Are they willing to sell the property? Let me straighten. Let me get you back.
Not yet.
So they don't want to sell.
Not yet. He hasn't faced the music. You know, I asked the questions for Brian. You know, like, what are you gonna do next? And he's just kind of like puts it back of his brain, kind of like.
So I'm sorry. I got to go back again. So if a person tells me on the phone they don't want to sell, why were you at their house?
Well, I put a piece. I door knocked, and then I set up an appointment to go meet with him and talk about the situation. So
Okay.
yeah, it's first. You know, as that first third door knock, they called me back. I was walking out the door to work, and yeah, and I went ahead and set an appointment to go meet with them. And you know, it's yeah, I know the time was more valuable to try to get all those questions answered on a phone call versus going and meeting without anything signed.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to see your house. I'm coming to buy your house. I don't even care what the house look like, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't even go. We sat outside.
And so when we're talking to these people, you know, over the phone, etc., we want to qualify or disqualify them through questions. So I mean, I see you working on this forbearance thing. You told me about this, that, and the other. If you don't get that all to go through like you want, I mean, are you going to sell it or what do you plan on doing? Yeah, I'm gonna have to sell it. Now we want to talk about the selling. But if they're not even going in that direction, if they're not mentally out of the house, I don't really have any reason to be going there. And we can talk about all this over the phone.
Yeah, he's not mentally out of the house yet.
Yeah, he's not mentally out. So I don't have any reason to be going over his house. Me personally. I mean, everybody can do what they want, but I don't like wasting time like that. That's a time suck. But I guess you learned something. Did you learn something from that trip to the house?
Not really.
You learn not to go to the house till you qualify or disqualify.
Yeah, don't do that, Mike. Don't do that, Mike. That's like the rookie thing to do right there. Run around. You know, I talk about that a whole bunch. I made that mistake a lot. Don't do that. Just qualify them as soon as you can over the phone. Ideally, you want to get to the point where you're locking them up over contract over the phone, but you'll get there. But definitely don't be running out to see these properties.
Yeah.
No.
Especially when people don't have no motivation to sell whatsoever. If they're like, oh, I'm going to get this done. Well, you got his number. You can follow up with him. It's no big deal. I got a guy who got his auction stopped, and he's going to get more time. That I went. This was a door knock I found, but I wasn't driving way back out there to no O'Fallon. Nice house, but I wasn't going back out there. I talked to him through text message. He said, "Yeah, I got it all straightened out. I'm going to try to get it. The bank giving me some options, so the auction did stop. So the auction's supposed to be in tomorrow on the 30th. So it ain't on the board no more. So we'll just follow up with him in about 3 weeks and see what's going on." But I have no reason to be going back to his house when I got his number. We're gonna talk on the phone. And we're gonna go all the way down the whole rabbit hole. Anything else interesting this week, Mike?
No, that's it. Yeah.
All right, there you go. What about Mr. Art? Art in his brand new luxury vehicle. What you work on this week? Anything good you cook up?
I'm in my work truck right now. This thing's a POS. But this week, I did get a wire for one of my wholesale deals that closed the week prior. Made $6,800 on that one. Another deal that was supposed to close by this week. I got the packers over there. They got the sellers packed up. Then the movers was supposed to go the next day, and then the sellers ghosted me again until basically yesterday. And then we talked more this morning. So we supposed to be having these movers go by, I believe, on Tuesday at this point. Then we'll be ready to close. So other than that, I loaded up another pre-foreclosure list. Calling. Nothing else good right now.
You've been knocking down pre-foreclosures, and you like that no equity, that negative equity, huh?
I have got some good leads. I do got one. What's that?
What happened to that one guy, that $700,000 house, that guy that had that reverse mortgage or something? Whatever happened to him?
I ended up offering him like $458, and he said the numbers is too low. He did.
That is low, though. I mean, you can go more than that, right?
I asked him how close could he come to it, and I ain't had no contact with him since then. So he's still in my follow up for now. I think you can get
some out that deal. I think that's still got a lot of money spread on it. Because what was it, like $850 or something when we looked it up?
Nah, that one was like, I think it was like seven something. I honestly don't remember, man.
Yeah, but I'm like, whatever it is, he got a spread. He got the equity. He can literally sell you the house without no pain. Like, he could sign those papers and sell you that house. So I would be following up with that guy for real.
No, he definitely in my follow up for sure.
How much was the reverse mortgage for?
I think he said every month. Did you hear me?
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I think he said every month he's losing about $2,000 on that.
So how much so if you had to buy out his mortgage, what would the amount be? What's the payoff on his reverse mortgage?
Oh, I think it's like 360.
Okay.
So he don't want to walk with $100K in his pocket.
Nah, because he was already talking to a realtor when I talked to him. So he said if a quick sale didn't work, he was willing to list it to get what he needed.
Did he ever tell you what he need, or I guess not, huh?
He did. He told me he could have came down to 550. I was thinking if I can get him around like 490 or something like that, that'd be a good deal, like a pass off.
You can probably sell it at about 550, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 525, 550, somewhere around there. I was thinking like under 500 was just under 500 is where I needed to be. So that's why I came in at 450. I think it was like 458, odd number.
It's made up a number. Where you get that number from, Art?
Made it up basically.
He made it up.
That sound low. Let's do that. I was like, if I get it that low, I know I could sell that for sure. So that's a good start. Because I didn't want to take a bunch of time looking too deep in the comps, man. So
yeah,
just to lowball them.
Yep, so, that's all you can do. See what he want to do and follow up with him.
Yep, he had a follow up for sure.
Do you think that's going to be hard to sell that luxury home?
I don't really think too much, Chris. Honestly, I don't think too much anymore, man. Thinking held me back for so long. I'm
so you execute and then look back and like, let me see what I did after you did it.
Yeah, I just know I offer low enough where if we can come somewhere around that 490 to 500, I put it out there with my inspection period and see what happened. Just follow the process. I don't even think no more.
So you shoot first and aim second.
Yeah.
Come on with it, Art.
Yeah, just see what happens. Just see what come back. And then I try to be respectable about it. I try not to tie up properties too long. You know, if I'm doing some good marketing, I should know within a week or two if I got a deal or where I need to be at. You know.
Yeah, I think you know in about 5 to 7 days. It don't take that long. Or at least the people are beating your door down trying to ask you, hey, I want to buy it.
Yeah, especially once you get tapped in with the big buyers, they'll be able to tell you pretty quick, like, I need to be around here, and they probably about right.
We need to be around this part. Good. I ain't never even seen the house. Good. Well,
keep it simple.
Keep it simple, kind of like a pimple. Yeah, I got a deal like you just said. I closed it on Friday, but they're supposed to fund it tomorrow. I don't know why they like doing that. Like, don't be doing that. Close my deal, fund me that day. Yeah, we're gonna close today, and you'll get your funds on Monday. I don't believe none of it hit the account.
Yeah. And then from that negative equity list,
So
I
there
do
you
got.
go. What about you, Jim? Anything interesting happened this week? Any good sellers that you got belly to belly with?
I was going to ask first. I think Art had something to say about a negative equity deal or something.
I don't know if that's me or not. I can't hear you.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, I guess you can't hear none of us then.
Oh,
hello.
I can hear him.
Well, what I was gonna say about the negative equity list in the meantime is I did get a good lead. Well, I don't know how these properties pop up on this list. From what I can tell, it is some equity in this property, just some. I ain't deep dive into it, but it looked like it was some at a glance. So, but I got this one lady who needs to sell a property. She wants to sell. We already agreed. I was just gonna give her enough to basically move into an apartment and turn the water on. So she's in the process of finding out how much that's going to exactly cost right now. And then once we do that, then I'll update the agreement and then she'll sign it. And then that'll be a sub 2 deal.
Okay. I don't know if that's me or not. I can't hear you. Is anybody still talking?
Yeah. Can you hear me now, Chris?
Oh my God. I don't know what the heck just happened here.
I can't hear everybody.
So
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that to say the negative equity list is something whenever y'all looking for more data, that's a good list to pull up because a lot of people do not target that list at all. But us as creative investors, that's like easy pickings for us.
And Art, you bring up a good point too, because just because it says that it's on the negative equity list does not mean it's negative equity. Because remember what we were looking at on batch leads last week, or we talked about a little bit, is that those numbers are guesstimations. We don't know. Your person might have paid a $50,000 principal payment like 2 years ago or something like that. That's not reflected on any of those lists.
Yeah, exactly. Because actually, one of my wife's family members popped up on that negative equity list, and the property that popped up on it is free and clear. So I literally don't know how they pulling this list, but
It's
I'm not.
old.
What I do know is a lot of the people I talk to, some of them have talked to other people, but a lot of these people ain't talked to nobody about this yet.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, calling the negative equity list. 'Cause it's like you may find that a lot of them on that list, or a portion of them aren't really negative equity.
For sure,
But
I have
everyone
been.
else is
That's what I'm saying.
everyone
I have
else
been
is
finding
shying
that.
away from them.
I have been finding that for sure. So definitely add that to y'all whenever y'all gonna make calls on lists like that for sure.
Matter of fact, that foreclosure lady that I spoke to, that I played in the beginning of this call, she's on a negative equity. It said negative $5,000, negative 4,500, something like that.
From what
Did
you
y'all-
can tell,
Did you want me to play that call again? It's only like 8 minutes, 9 minutes.
Yeah.
So he loved those calls. Mike loved it. He said he only missed the first part. All right, I'm gonna play it.
From what you can tell, is she actually upside down on that property?
Well, because of the repairs, yes. Because she owes 128, and I'm looking at comps around 160, 165. So I mean, it got a little room, but the way she made it sound like, which you'll hear in a second, she made it sound like she got like it need work or something. I mean, it need
Art,
work.
there's two big assumptions on your negative equity list. One big assumption is what it's worth, and the second big assumption is how much they owe, because none of that is hard numbers or even close.
And yep. Chris, you couldn't hear us when I was saying it, but I was saying you were asked about the negative equity list. I have one deal that we already have a preliminary agreement. The agreement is that I'm gonna pay her enough to move into an apartment. Basically, she needs her first and last month and all that, whatever that's gonna be. Plus, she need me to give her the money to turn the water on. So she's in the process of finding out which apartment she's actually moving into, so she can know what that hard number is. Then I'll send over the agreement, and then that's going to be a sub 2 deal. So I've been keeping in contact with her at least every 2 to 3 days. She actually called me up probably on Friday or Thursday and was telling me that the bank reached out to her and let her know that basically she gonna have to be making the payment, or they're gonna have to look at something in the next couple of weeks or something like that. So she was like,
you're solving problems. Is that what I'm hearing, Art?
Well, I'm going to solve her problem once she signed this paperwork. She wants me to help her solve this problem right now. And I'm like, hey, I can't do nothing until we get this agreement in place. Like I told, she was like, what are you going to do? I was like, well, my plan is to buy it and make the payment. But that's going to be a process. We got to do this and that. And we need to move forward on this paperwork in order for me to be able to step in and do that. She was like, the bank's saying I got 2 weeks. I'm like, I believe them. We need to move forward.
You did the turn that knife.
I'm gonna get it Monday. Like, we got 10 days.
We need to move quick, man. The bank don't be playing, man. You got to put that scare tactic. So yeah, this call, like I say, this lead came in on my website this morning, about 9 o'clock. And I looked, I said, oh wow, we got a lead on the website. I got a bunch of leads, by the way, but this lady, I ended up calling her right back, and this is what happened. If you can hear it. Uh-oh. Why my technology going crazy? Let's see what we got here. Let me put a better picture up. Boom. Let me refresh this 1 second. I don't know why they did that. I thought I had this thing ready, and it done janked me. Ladies and gentlemen, the call today is from Miss Becky. She needs to sell because she says there's an auction pending, although this house is not on any auction list, and she is approximately 3 months behind. And damn, what the hell is going on with this thing? Refresh. I thought I had it set up, so give me a minute. I'll have it up. Oh, there we go. Whew. Pulling teeth. Here we go, and here's Becky.
Hello.
Can you hear it?
Good morning, Becky.
Yes.
Yeah,
This is Chris with St. Louis Cash Bars. I got your form online. Is this a good time to talk?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go into an event, but I can talk for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what's going on with the house there.
I'm getting ready to go into foreclosure. Trying to avoid it so I can not have that on my record, but I got to get out of it as is. I bought it 3 years ago in July, and I can't afford it no more. Yeah, I'm moving in with a friend here in the next few weeks, and just need to try and sell it. So.
All right. Well, good news, Becky. You're dealing with the best. I'm a foreclosure prevention specialist in these types of situations. Tell me a little bit about the condition of the house. Does it need any kind of major work or anything?
Yeah, it's gonna need some work. There's damage. There's a little bit of damage to the roof. I didn't claim it on this last round of storms, but I figured with middle of getting ready to go into foreclosure, I don't have that ability to fix all that stuff. There's a little bit of siding damage on the south side of the building. It's frame house, so there's like 4 or 5 panels that have some hail damage on it. The garage is detached, no electric. To be honest with you, it's falling down. It needs to come down. And then on the house side of itself, the first floor is completely livable. The basement is unfinished because it takes on water. And I just can't, I don't have the money to fix it. So please, just understand that I went into it thinking I'd be able to because I was still getting child support payments from the ex-husband, but he stopped that. He's got court backing him up for some reason, only give me $40 a month instead of the $450 supposed to be.
What?
So, yeah.
What is so $40?
Right, exactly. You can't even buy groceries for that, man. So I'm just looking to get out of it. I have a mortgage balance on it. I'd like to be able to at least get the mortgage balance plus a couple $1,000s more to cover the interest that I put into it. For a little bit of equity there might be, but honestly right now I'd be willing to part out of it at like 135. The house next door was just flipped and went for 215 last year. Mm-hmm. So it's got potential. It's just it needs work. So I'm looking for somebody to come in there and just take it over, basically pay off my mortgage and maybe a few $1,000s more so I can get my moving paid for in that.
Okay, well that's reasonable.
Structurally sound. It's structurally sound. I did put a little bit of work into it. It's going to need some refinishing on a kitchen wall. That some of the plasters come, it's like the old particle board has come loose and chipped off, but otherwise livable from 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. So, that's where I'm at.
Okay. And so you want to sell the property and be able to move. What kind of timeline are you on? When would you like to be done?
Probably in a month and a half because I've just got my letter from the mortgage company that they're talking foreclosure already. So,
did they give you a date yet?
No, I haven't opened up the envelope. That's how I'm avoiding this weekend because this is my survivorship weekend for cancer, man. I'm at a celebration right now, literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just know, Becky, I'm going to help you out every step of the way. We specialize in these types of situations. There's all types of tactics and tricks we use to avoid foreclosure and basically make sure you're in a better situation. So that's my goal here.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind another month or 2 to get myself physically out of the building. I'm using the basement as storage right now because I had to clean out my storage locker. I couldn't afford it. I'm in that point in my life where I just need to move on. So I appreciate that.
Just get a whole another fresh start, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, how much did you still owe on the house?
I think I'm right at 128 or 29. I'm not sure. I didn't look at the balance this past month. And I am right at 3 months past due. So foreclosure's closing in quickly, but
Yeah, they definitely move kind of quick sometimes when they get like that. So we're gonna get you straightened out either way. What is the monthly payment that you make every month?
It's right at $1,100, maybe a little bit more. Like I said, it's been a couple months. I don't know.
Okay, so that includes the taxes. That includes the taxes and insurance.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 1,100 a month approximately with taxes and insurance, and you owe like 128. So basically, what I'm getting is you're willing to sell it for what you owe on it, as long as you get a couple $1,000s so you can be able to move, and a little bit
Right.
of time so you can move, and you're ready to move forward and be done with this house. That's
Exactly.
what I'm getting.
Exactly.
Okay. So there's a couple of ways we can help you in this, and so I don't know if I'm thinking of one way. What we've done in the past in situations like this is we would buy the house as is, just like you want. We would catch up the arrears and just continue making those payments until we get the property stabilized and fixed and sell it sometime in the future. But we would buy it from you immediately. Do you think something like that would help you out?
Yeah. That's what, as long as I don't want to take the foreclosure on my record. I'm struggling right now as it is with a 400 or 500, between a 400 and 500 credit score, so they won't refinance me or nothing. So,
Okay. And so you also said something about the insurance. Did you already put in a claim for the roof damage? Because I would say
No, I
get
did not.
that.
I did not, because I don't know if FEMA's coming down South City, because most of the storm damage was up North City. So I got hail and wind damage on my house.
Yeah,
So
because they
I
would
don't
pay
think
for that.
FEMA's
We got like 6 or 7 new roofs on our properties, and they didn't even before the storm even happened, and it had nothing to do with that
Right.
particular tornado. So all we have to have is a
Well,
date.
yeah, I got damage from the March storm and from this storm, but I don't know because of my zip code if I qualify for the FEMA. I never did call them and see. Yeah.
I can help you with that though. Like I said, we specialize in all these little
Okay.
details. So when would you be available when I can come by?
I'm off on Thursday this week. I took the day off of work, and I'm gonna be moving stuff gradually, for myself. So.
Okay. So what I plan to do here is I'm gonna go ahead and get some paperwork drawn up for you. I'm gonna send it over to your email. I think I have it there returning on your form, and then I'll plan to come by there on Thursday so I can assess, in detail. But I want to go ahead and get the process started so that we can get that foreclosure stopped at a minimum. So at least get you some time to be able to move and get everything organized.
Okay,
So
that
I
sounds
think
good.
that's a good plan there.
What was your first name?
My name is Chris, and I'm with St. Louis Cash Buyers. I'm going to text you
Okay.
right after this call as well, so you
Thank
have
you.
all of my
That's
contact
exactly what I was
information.
looking for. Hey, can you hold on for a second, or if I can let you go, I'm getting ready to do my check-in right now. So.
Yeah, I can hold for a second. Take your time.
All right. Yeah. Hold on a second.
5 minutes later.
Breast cancer survivor.
Oh, wow.
Event. So.
Well, at least we got the weather to cooperate today, right?
Yeah, it's raining out here a little bit, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
Better than a muggy, hot summer's day.
Yes, that's St. Louis for you, man.
Yeah. So other than that, I mean, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? You got food and everything like that?
Yeah, I got food. I've moved some of my stuff into the new place with my friend that's inviting me into her home. So I'm gonna be paying her some rent. That's why I'm in arrears with electric and gas and sewer and all that. I mean, it's just hard. I've had some difficulties come up, and then I just got rear-ended in a car accident, so I'm dealing with that.
Goodness.
You name it. Seriously, name it. I bet you I have some kind of a tie to it.
Oh, wow.
It's been insane. It's been insane.
Well, we're going to get this thing turned around for you so you're in a better position.
Thank you, Chris.
Did you have any other questions or anything for me for now before I let you go?
No. If I open up this mortgage stuff, do you guys want to see a copy of it, or?
Yes, please. Yes, because I'm going to go in and I'll go deal with all of them for you, so you don't have to mess with it. I'll go in and just basically, deal with whatever issues they throwing at you, because you got enough stuff on you, as I can tell. So we don't want you worried about all that.
Understand. Thank you. You're the second person. The other person was a flipper and he wasn't interested, and I'm like, I get it. I understand, but this is a livable house. It just needs some work. I don't have the means to do it myself. So yeah.
Yep, that's why it's good. You're rolling with the best now. This is what I do.
Right.
Complex situations that everybody else run away from and get scared. I come in and try to make sure I can help you out and put you in a better position.
All right, Chris. Well, I'm gonna let you go so that I can get involved in all my stuff here.
Yeah, enjoy your day, and we'll be in contact. And like I said, I'm going to send you some stuff via email, and then I'll plan to see you on Thursday. Okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There you have it. What do you think about that, Art?
Chris, dude, that was a masterpiece, bro. You hit all 4 pillars: timeline, condition, motivation, price. Even after you got all of that and she agreed, you even took some time and built rapport, showed genuine empathy for what she had going on, talking to her about her day and all of that. Um, I like how she threw in that the other person who tried to buy it was a flipper and couldn't do nothing with it. This is like a poster child call for creative finance right here. A masterpiece for sure. And that's my first time hearing that, so it's my initial reaction. That's crazy.
Yeah, that call was this morning, so it's about 10 o'clock this morning, something like that. What do you think about it, Justin?
Yeah, I think you was on point. I don't see anything wrong with the call and stuff. And you took your time and went through it and stuff and thoroughly explained it to her. And it's a beautiful situation for both of y'all.
That's the game. So we give her $2,000 and pay her buy the house. You know, it need a little bit of work, but it probably don't need as much as she say. You know, you never really know until you go see these houses. But does it matter if somebody give you a house for a couple grand? How many houses could you buy?
A few of them, I'll tell you that.
All of them.
Right. What do you think about that call there, Jim?
I would say that was, like Art said, that was a perfect call. And what I'm hearing out of that, you got it off of your website. So I need.
Yeah, it was a lead. We got a couple of different websites to generate leads. So came in right off the form. So they went on one of our websites.
I need to get more phone calls like that.
Yeah, where it's like a lay down, like slam dunk.
Those are one call close too, bro. Hell yeah. The stuff you tell everybody else don't try, you out here doing it every day.
Hey, if they ready to go, I'm ready to buy it. I already sent her the contract. She ain't signed it yet. So let me make sure. Maybe she did. I sent it to her, but I don't know if she signed anything. Let me make sure before I say something bad. I might be lying. Nope, not yet. So that's what we do. Any other reaction to that, Mike, since you heard it in full now? Hold on. I muted everybody. 1 second. There you go, Mike.
No, I was able to get the notes down the second time there. Yeah.
And what did you take down in your notes that you're going to use in your next conversation?
That was the
Dang, you took 6 pages of notes. You was over there jotting it down, my man.
Oh, but the top one. I'm a foreclosure prevention specialist.
Nah, don't be trying to take that. Nah, that's patented, man.
Yeah,
Foreclosure
that's
prevention.
money. Yeah,
I prevent foreclosures. We stop them in their tracks.
Yeah,
we have different.
I
tools.
had trouble reading my writing. Yeah.
Foreclosure prevention specialist. Even Jim like that. He gonna try that out in Virginia.
I was just going to say, I'm going to use that one on the East Coast. Your patent doesn't run this far east.
It's only statewide. So, yeah, I mean, that's the things that people like to hear. And if you notice, I didn't use the words subject to. I didn't get all crazy in the deep in the weeds. This is a third-party story. What we've done in the past is we bought the house, caught up the arrears, took over the payments, bought the house as is, just like you want. Make sure we're doing what they want. And do you think that'll work for you? Give them a chance to tell you no. I always give a person the opportunity to tell me, no, that won't work for me because my bank won't let me do it. Or no, that won't work for me because my wife or my husband is janky. Or no, that won't work for me because I just don't think it'll work for me. What if there is a way I can make it work for you? Sign right here.
One other thing I would like to add that was a little less apparent on that call is this lady is already saying that she was ready to be done with this. And what you did very masterfully was did not over explain any of this. Like, you kept it super simple. Like, hey, this is what we can do to help you. And she's like, oh, okay, I understand that. And you just move forward. Other people, some people with less skill would probably go back and try to explain in greater detail. Like, okay, and this and that, and ask a million times, what other questions do you have? What else can I explain about? You just like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. And she's like, okay, and you got it done. Like a sniper, it's in and out.
That's right. And it's right over there near the Afton area where my other houses are. So I love that area, right in South St. Louis. Well, it's really in the city. I think it's on the city side, or it's right on the border of the city and the county. But who cares? I'm gonna buy it and write it. So another little thing too, when she said about the insurance that she hasn't put in a claim, I would prefer to put the claim in and allow the bank or allow their insurance to fix whatever's wrong with the outside to the hail damage and stuff. I don't want to fix that. Why would I fix something she's paying insurance? That don't make sense.
You planted that seed too.
Yeah. But I didn't want to get too deep in the weeds on that because that's an initial call. She's in a rush. She's in line doing her, whatever she was doing. I didn't want to try to get too deep. I just want to hit my point, get her on board mentally, find out she's really mentally out of the house, send her the paperwork, get her under contract, and work the play from there.
Oh, one other thing that's major from that call that you did, man, and I took note of this for sure. When you told her, it was something like, we need to move forward with the process right now so we can at least get the foreclosure stopped. Because she was saying something about next week or something like that, and you was like, yeah, we need to get this done now so we can move forward, and this how it benefits you if we move forward right now. That was genius.
That's right. I'm going to send you some paperwork so we can start the process in stopping your auction. I already had her email address because it came in from my form and it didn't kick back anything, so I guess it's good. She hasn't opened it yet, but once she open it up and sign that, we'll officially be under contract. Then I'll go get her mortgage statement. Then I'll go do underwriting and walk the property, take pictures, all of that stuff. Start marketing because I don't plan on coming out of anything for this house. To be honest, if I can get into this deal for $2,000 to her plus $1,000 in closing costs, $3,000, I'll have a tenant buyer come give me $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 because they would want to be in this house for whatever I can get out of the marketplace and come out of pocket with no money. You don't need money for real estate. You need skills.
Dude, that's so genius though, because you built in a benefit just for her signing the agreement. That puts urgency in there for the seller. Just doing that part. That's genius.
That's it. That's all we want to do is work with the ones who want to work with us. Everybody else, follow up with them later. Don't even waste too much energy on non-motivated people. Not saying they're going to be as motivated as her, but sometimes we get lay down deals that just come in and just drop on our lap. Like, I got another one like that. This dude here, I don't know what happened to him. He kind of disappeared. Let me see. He said he was selling for what he owed too, but I don't have his email address. That's the only problem with him. I couldn't even send him the contract. But he said, yes, he's ready to go. He don't want nothing. He'll sell it for what he owe on it. He didn't even say he wanted no money. So I'm buying it for the loan balance, closing costs. Those are my kind of people. If everybody was like that, we'd all be happy.
So what do they usually say that prompts you to say, would you sell it for what do you owe?
I figure out their story. They tell me their thing. Yeah, we got this, we got that, and I really just don't want this foreclosure and this and this and that. Then I ask a question. So what I'm hearing is basically you were willing to sell it for what you owe on it. Am I hearing that correct? They say yes. I'm done talking about it. I don't go back bringing that up no more. You gonna sell it for what you owe on it? Great. All you need a couple thousand to move? Fine. We'll bake that into the deal. But I'm not going to give you $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 and unless the deal makes sense. And most of the time it don't make sense because she's only been in this property for 3 years and she got a what was it? 5.3%, 5.23% interest rate. It looked like on here. FHA mortgage. She bought it back in 2022. Dang, she coming up exactly on the date. July 22nd, 2022. Couldn't even last 3 years. In fact, I lied. On here it says negative equity, negative 43,000. So I know that's wrong. So this system though. So that's why I don't like using these systems and softwares because that's what it's saying right up here in the corner. $85,000 value. When I just did the comps, they're selling for like 160 over there. So I don't know what's this thing doing. And then I see her mortgage balance is around 128, which is the same thing she told me on the phone. And her payment, according to this, said $708, and it does not include the taxes and insurance. So yeah, she said her payment is what, $1,100. And I know I can get something for that house. I mean, depending on the situation, we'll furnish it and rent it out that way, or install a tenant buyer and move out the way and let them pay me $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 a month to live in a nice little starter home and be happy. Any other questions, comments, concerns about that call?
I'm gonna be watching that call multiple times this through the week for sure.
Yeah, I got a couple others too that I haven't posted up yet. I talked to some investors. Let's see. Well, an investor, I guess I should say. I talked to 2 more people in foreclosure. I got a lot of leads now. Like I'm almost gonna have to get Justin on this phone or something because I need some help with these leads. They overwhelm me now. Like, wait a minute, I'm getting too many leads. That's that AI thing too, kicking them out. Don't tell nobody. Kicking them out. I got a call tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock with that. Let me see what that is. So there's always something happening. Keep you some leads so you don't become a motivated buyer. If you're generating enough leads, you will lose that thing that makes you like thirsty sounding on the phone. It kind of goes away because you figure somebody else gonna bring me a deal. It kind of helps you mentally when you know you got more leads. Would you agree with that, Art?
100%, 100%. 100%.
So yeah, that's.
I used to
So
be
this
stressed out if I lost the lead. Now these days, I'm like, oh man, that person ain't selling. Great, one less person I gotta follow up with. And I got 100 more. Fuck.
And this is our stats so far. We got, what is that? 45 qualified, 14 booked. I got somebody I got to talk to tomorrow. Them stats are not playing, man. I said, dang, I got to keep somebody cooking. Lead generation. And that's not counting stuff to come on off the website or off from my store or off from networking or off from any of this other stuff. You got to get some leads coming in. Foreclosures. I ain't really get to talk to too many foreclosures or talk to the new foreclosures that came out. So you should have got a bunch of them, Justin. You get anybody? Get a fish on the hook. Let's see here.
They are out here.
That's what I've been working on, is building my lead list.
I got a lead tomorrow morning to call at 9 a.m., I think, or something like that. Let me
Jim,
see.
when you say you're building a lead list, what kind of leads are you talking about?
Foreclosure. So I don't get them just from foreclosure.com because that's too slow, and a lot of times it's outdated. Everybody else has already hit them up. So I'm getting them from the newspapers and from the newspaper aggregate site. So it's usually a little bit quicker. And then some of them I can get from the attorney websites, which is the quickest way.
That's the quickest, straight to the attorneys.
On the attorney one there, Singer, whatever,
Millsap and Singer.
So there's the number that they have on there for to identify the foreclosure. What does that what's that correlating to? Is that correlating to?
That's just an internal number for their office.
Right. So I didn't see, once I saw that, I stopped digging on their website. So they're posting it, but not posting all the information.
They should have a sale date, right?
Correct. But then there's...
What else do you need? You got an address and a sale date.
It didn't have I don't think I've seen the address. I'll have to look again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Usually on the attorney site, you're getting an address and a sale date. That's usually the only two things.
Okay.
The address, the street address of the house, the date of the sale, and a lot of times, at least in my market, it's where the sale is going to be held, and it's always at the courthouse of the county,
right.
Courthouse of the city.
Mike, you know what to do once you got the address?
Oh yeah, I use Spokio. I skip trace it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now for me, I went out to town today and door knocked 6 of them. And for me, town is 20 minutes away, 22 minutes away. And then usually all my doors are within 3 minutes each other. So I just start hitting them.
Yeah. The ones I door knock are close to me in St. Joe, but there's a ton down there in Kansas City, and I try to do before work or after work, and it doesn't. I'm changing some things to make that happen. So.
Yeah, I have a couple different counties I do. So if I'm doing the city, then that's 25 minutes away from me, and I round them all up. And like I said, once I get the first one, all of them are usually within 3 or 5 minutes each other. And
right.
Then I'll pick another day and I'll go up to the county, and those you just have to drive a little bit more between, but they might only be 5 or 6 minutes between doors or something like that.
systems and tools, do you have something you that'd be cool if there was something you just plug the addresses in? Well, I guess Google Maps would do that if you just plug
It
them in.
does.
Yeah,
It
yeah. And just
Road
track.
Warrior, Road Warrior is what I use, but it costs money.
Right. Is that a bicycle?
No, it's an app for like FedEx and people like that use it.
Okay.
So you can load in from a spreadsheet all your addresses, and you can put in like 500 addresses, and then it gives you the most efficient routing.
Sweet.
Jim, have you ever looked up a house? Have you ever looked up a house like on Google or anywhere, and you see that they physically like blurred out their picture of their house? Have you ever seen that before?
I think they work for the government when I see those.
Sometimes the houses don't have pictures. I've seen that when there is actually.
Yeah,
a
I'm
house
running
there,
into-
I go to Redfin.
You could. It's
Yeah,
a
I'm working.
segment-
I'm looking at the one I'm talking about calling tomorrow. I just looked over the notes for it, and it said it's a $1.2 million house, and I can't find no pictures of this house. And it does say on Zillow $977,000, so it is about $1 million house, but there's no information on the internet. And I've looked
And you
on like
look on
multiple
Redfin and all the other different.
Redfin, Zillow, Realtor, Google Maps, everybody. I see that there was a previous picture that tried to pop up, but I don't know if that's the real house or not. This is
If it's in the town, sometimes if it's in town or close to town, you can do the Google Maps street side view.
They'll block it there too. They got some cheat code for that.
You just go on Google.
Well, I'm talking about two different things. So I got two different things. One, the other day I was looking at one, and it literally was blurred out, like intentional. Somebody went and blurred their house out on Zillow or on Google Maps. Then on this one here, I'm just not seeing anything for any pictures for this one for some reason.
So when you say it's blurred out on Google Maps, they
So
don't
if you
have
go
a
down-
snapshot. But if you go down and you drag the little man down the street, and you walk him down the street, and you go like this, it's not there. It's blurred.
It's blurred. They did something and blurred their house, and it's only the first time I seen that on there. Like I even went down the street, went around the corner. I'm like, damn, what did they do? I need to do that to my house. Can I get my house blurred?
Yeah, they be
That's on
opting-
Google.
They
You can
opt
go
out.
up
They
there.
have a privacy thing.
They opt out. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's
A lot
one
of
thing.
people do that.
The blur out thing is just one thing. I saw that the other day, but today I'm just not seeing anything on this property at all.
I did
they
a
just-
deck for a guy that's a private contractor for the
Oh.
government, and
Yeah. Government.
when I worked around his house, my cell phone wouldn't work.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You can buy those cell phone jammers.
See if you see that house I just put in the chat there, Jim, or one of you if you can. That's the house I'm calling tomorrow morning. 1.2 million. Well, I don't know if he wants 1.2 million. He says in his conversation here. Let me go back to the beginning. Dang, this is a long conversation. I've been talking to him for some days.
Hey,
So,
Chris,
yeah.
one thing that I could think of is that could be on my county website. They call it a protected person. That's like government workers and a few other things. They don't disclose any of their information, but it could be considered what in my county they call a protected person.
I'm protected and highly favored. No. So the messages go, hey, Todd, how are you? Daniel here regarding your house. How are you? He says, doing great. You. The AI says, I'm good. Thanks for asking. Are you thinking about selling your place? They say, not thinking. We are selling. Awesome. How's the overall condition? I like that this thing starts getting my 4 pillars for me before I even talk to them. They say, excellent. Only 2 years old. Oh, they must have just built this house. It says, nice. Sounds like it's in great shape. What's your timeline for selling? It says, hopefully going on the market in August. Got it. August sounds like a good plan. What's got you thinking about selling? Equity, retirement, kids going to college, etc. AI says, makes sense. Life brings a lot of changes. What price were you thinking for the place? They said appraised for $1.2 million 4 months ago. It's on 4.5 acres. Oh, that's probably why there's no pictures, isn't it? It wasn't built when they did the map, maybe. That's probably the problem.
I got a picture of the house. I'm texting it to you.
And then he said, thanks for sharing. What time zone are you in? I'll check my schedule. And so we scheduled him for a time tomorrow for 9 a.m. Is it 9 a.m.? 9:30 tomorrow. I'm supposed to be on a call with him at 9:30 tomorrow. We'll see what happens with this $1.2 million appraised house that's going on the market. So I don't even know if I can help him, to be honest. It's a brand new house. What can I do with him? What can I do for him to help him out, Art?
Referral for a list or agent.
How about if I just list it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's commercial, Chris.
But is that really the house?
I don't know. I don't think that's really the house.
I don't think it is. I saw 2 pictures that look like that, but I mean,
I
it
found
could
the
be.
property. I found the property on LoopNet.
Yeah, I saw it on there too, on LoopNet and some other sites. It's kind of like, I don't
I
know.
go drive there right now. That's the house.
Well, this house is out there in Fenton, and it's on the backwoods of Fenton. Like, it's on 4.5 acres, so you can't even get to the house till you drive 2 acres to get to it.
Dang.
It's like a plantation home, from what he make it sound like. But I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow. Mr. Shonek. So he's I don't know, maybe a foreigner. Who knows? So we'll know more about that tomorrow. Hopefully, we get some good conversation out of that, and maybe even a deal. But as you all know, we can't stay out on this thing all night. So if you listen closely, you'll hear that this plane is taking its final descent. Put your trays in the upright position. The wheels are coming down, and we're about to be landing here shortly. Any other questions on any of the lessons? Ask them now.
So one of the calls I did was with a real estate agent that they've dropped the house price $46,000. Been on the market for over 90 days or whatever. He said they bought a new property, wrapped the loans together in it, or some weird thing, and they have a HELOC on the house. But she got some shows. I was just, doing touches out there, networking, with a realtor. But
so they got what they call a blanket loan. So 2 properties with 1 loan.
Yeah,
portfolio loan.
Send that lead over to me. I'll show you how to make that phone call and make that happen.
Yeah,
I sent her an email. I should have reached out to you guys before I even sent it. Like, she's like, "Well, what kind of are you talking about?" Then I had ChatGPT, kind of like write me a generic email up about, I was like, I don't have any numbers, but this type of situation or something similar to this is what's been done in the past.
And so what I would say is aim at what would you like to happen in a perfect scenario for you, Mr. Seller.
All right.
I always like to know what they want, because that's my close. My close is to give them what they ask for, some kind of a way. I need to know what they want, though, before I try to pitch anything or send any offers. What are you looking to do? What's been the challenge that's stopping you from doing that thing that you want to do?
Yeah, it all goes back to them. What
always come back to them.
Yeah.
The property gonna be what the property gonna be, but I want to know what's going on with you.
No.
What happens if you don't sell it at all and you just end up not selling?
Then she's got some medical issues that just popped up too happening, so they're feeling a bit of a crunch. So I know.
But what happens if they don't sell it? That's the question. What happens if you don't sell?
Yeah.
We have to ask those types of questions, because then it's going to tell us where we need to go, because they don't need to sell.
Text me the properties. That way I can call them.
All right. Yeah, we'll do.
Just to say, you know what to do with it. Just a killer closer out here. Any other questions?
I got a comment.
Yeah, what you got?
When you're door knocking out there, right, make sure you're leaving the notes of the houses that are vacant or whatever. I went out and knocked 6 and I left 1 note, and I actually got a call back from the 1 note. So
there you go.
And remember, it's never too late to call them.
Yeah, it is. 9 o'clock is too late.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Jim.
See, probably not. That's what I'm doing.
I can see it. Go ahead, put it up. I can see it.
I'm doing a callback right after this.
There you go. Got you an appointment. Ching, ching. Get that money, mean. Yeah, I'm finna talk to an agent. Matter of fact, she said, I'm working with an agent on a deal. She keep running around about this information. That's why I don't really like dealing with agents, but I'm on deal with her. I need the information so I can underwrite the deal and see what we can do. They've been trying to sell this house for almost a year. Beautiful condition. Well, I won't say beautiful. Actually, you've been to this house, Justin. That house we went to over there in Florissant, that big old house that needed the carpet cleaned and the flooring done. They still need to sell that house.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I told her I could buy it. I'm ready to buy it. I told her $200 cash, or we can structure terms. She said, the lowest they'll take is like $265. There's a way we can get you $265. We'll take over that payments of $1,600 a month, pay the agent fee, and figure out what we do with their equity. But I don't want to say she's lying, but when I'm doing my research, it looked like they only owe like 120,000 on this house. Everything online say one said 115, the other one said 120, and they trying to get almost 300,000 for
She
the house.
cheating in negotiations. Tell her don't lie to us. Ugh.
I think they lying, and I don't want to call nobody a liar, but I think I'm being lied to. So I told her, give me the mortgage statement, and we're going to underwrite the deal and see what we can do to help them out. So that's what I'm waiting on now. Other than that, that's what we cooking. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Well, hopefully you all have a good week. Go talk to some sellers, go talk to some buyers, go grow your network, find you some private lenders, find you some people to grow your team to help you live the American dream, because real estate is a team sport. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I can just go do it all by myself. I'm going to be a super duper wholesaler and I'm going to figure it all out. No, get some killers on your team to help you plug in the pieces that you're missing. Because if you don't, then you won't. So hopefully that helps you all out. Do what you do. Be who you be. And I'll see you before you see me.
I don't know what you've been doing. You been asleep? Let me wake you up with something. Straight up. Yeah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Chris Monroe. R to the O-E. I flip houses, rent cars, and make money. You know I'm not no motherfucker dummy. This how we